I need your help. Please subscribe my channel. When my wife, Megan, first hinted that she didn't like my best friend, Tyler, I brushed it off as one of those harmless, jealous remarks spouses sometimes make. Tyler and I had been inseparable since college. We built our careers side by side, weathered rough years together, and stayed up countless nights talking about what we wanted our lives to become. He was the closest thing I had to a brother. Megan used to get along with him too, especially in the early years of our marriage. But lately something had changed. Her tone would tighten every time his name came up. "He's always around," she said one night, eyes fixed on her phone. "Don't you think it's odd for a married man to spend more time with his business partner than his wife?" I laughed it off. "Megan, he's not just my friend, he's my business partner. We're opening a new branch. That's why we've been meeting so much." She didn't return my smile. "You trust people too easily, Adam. One day that's going to cost you." I should have taken that as a warning, not from her but about her. A few weeks later, everything unraveled. I came home one evening to find the front door slightly open and the lock splintered. Inside, the living room was in chaos. Drawers pulled out, cushions tossed, a vase shattered across the floor. Megan was on the couch, shaking, her face buried in her hands. "Oh my God, Adam!" she cried. "Someone broke in." I rushed to her, my pulse racing. "What? When did this happen?" "About an hour ago," she sobbed. "I was in the shower. When I came out, everything was torn apart. They took jewelry, some cash, and my laptop. I called the police immediately. While we waited, she clung to me, trembling. Everything about it looked real, too real. The officers arrived within minutes, took statements, and dusted for fingerprints. One of them asked if anyone might have known what valuables we had or how to get inside. Megan didn't hesitate. "Tyler," she said. "He was here a few days ago. He knows the layout." I froze. "Megan, what are you saying?" She wiped her tears and met my eyes. "Adam, I think your friend did this." It sounded absurd, but her fear looked genuine. I tried calling Tyler, but his phone went straight to voicemail. The silence ate at me. The next morning, Detective Harris returned with more questions, ones that made my stomach twist. "Mr. and Mrs. Walker," he began, flipping open his notepad. "We found something interesting." Megan gripped my hand. "Did you find who did it?" "Not yet," he said. "But we found fingerprints on the window latch and a glove outside near the fence. The odd part is there's no sign of forced entry. Whoever did this either had a key or was let in." I frowned. "That doesn't make sense. The lock was broken." "Yes," he replied evenly, "but from the inside." Megan went pale. "That's impossible. Why would anyone?" He raised a hand. "Mrs. Walker, we're just gathering facts. You mentioned your friend, Tyler, had been here recently." I sighed. "He's been over, sure, but I can't believe he'd ever do something like this." Megan crossed her arms. "You've always trusted him too much, Adam. Maybe now you'll see who he really is." Her words stung, and yet the seed of doubt had been planted. Tyler still hadn't called. He hadn't texted. My closest friend had vanished right after our home was torn apart. It was too much of a coincidence. A few days later, the detective called me down to the station. "We reviewed security footage from a nearby store," he said. "It captured a car matching your wife's description leaving your street about 15 minutes before the alleged break-in." I blinked. "What? That can't be right." He continued calmly. "The same car came back 20 minutes later, just before she called 911. My stomach dropped. There must be a mistake. He slid a folder toward me. Inside were timestamp stills. Megan's car, same plates, same tinted windows. That evening, when I confronted her, she didn't even try to deny it, at least not at first. "Adam, you don't understand," she said, pacing the room. "I had to do it." "Do what, Megan? Frame my best friend? Lie to the police?" Her eyes shimmered with a kind of desperate defiance. "You were choosing him over me. Every dinner, every plan, every conversation, it was Tyler this, Tyler that. I needed you to see who he really was." I stared at her, speechless. "So you staged a robbery? You broke your own lock and trashed our home?" Tears welled up. "I didn't think it would go this far. I just wanted to protect us." But it was too late. The following week felt unreal. Like I was living in someone else's nightmare. The investigation kept going, and no matter how she tried to twist the story, the evidence told the truth. The glove found near the fence had traces of her perfume and fibers matching her sweater. Even the stolen jewelry turned up, tucked inside a shoebox in the attic. Detective Harris called me in again. His voice was steady but firm. "Mr. Walker, your wife's account doesn't line up with the evidence. We'll need her to come in for questioning." When I told her, she collapsed, sobbing. "Adam, please. You have to believe me. I only did it because I thought I was losing you." I looked at her, the woman I'd trusted completely, and all I felt was hollow pity. "You didn't lose me, Megan," I said quietly. "You drove me away." The next morning, the police came for her. They didn't use handcuffs, but the humiliation on her face said enough. Neighbors peeked through their curtains as the car pulled off. That evening, Tyler stopped by. He looked shaken but relieved. "Man," he said softly, "I thought I'd lost you as a friend for good." I nodded. So did I. We sat in silence, the kind that only exists between two people betrayed by the same lie. Megan was later charged with filing a false report and obstruction. I couldn't bring myself to attend the hearings. Watching her destroy something so sacred, not out of hatred but control, hurt more than I imagined. Weeks went by. The house felt emptier but calmer too. No more suspicion. No more tension. Just quiet. One evening, Detective Harris called again. "Case closed," he said. "She confessed. Told us she thought you'd thank her one day." I gave a bitter laugh. "Yeah," I said. "I'll send her a thank you card from therapy." After hanging up, I sat in the quiet, surrounded by the pieces of a life built on trust and broken by fear. That's when it hit me. Betrayal doesn't always come from cruelty. Sometimes it comes from fear, from the desperate urge to control what's slipping away. But no matter the reason, the result's the same. Once trust shatters, love can't survive in its shadow. That night, I packed a small bag and left. Not in anger, not in sadness, but in acceptance. Because sometimes walking away isn't giving up. It's the only way to start living again.